I found some great deals, and I've also talked some people out of some not so great deals, which isn't in my benefit, but
yes, so many people like they want to get real. They think that's real estate, like studying this stuff. And
that's a Graham Stephan tip for you.
That is. But what's going on, guys? Jeff Wybo here, and I am back on the channel with Ali, and we're going to do a little bit of a segment about talking to new realtors. I'm really fascinated about people's first year in real estate and how they're handling it. And you're coming up to your first year in March, right? And so it's January right now. And I just kind of want to chat with you. And a lot of people ask me questions on Instagram and also in the YouTube comments about like what they can do to get going. And I just kind of want to see, how was your first year being an agent? And let's start with how you found the AREA tests and everything, like that, which is the Ontario test you have to take to become a real estate agent. And it's changing now. It's going to be like you have to go into the college. So you guys have about 3 months right now to just hurry up and take the test, or you have to go to a college.
That's what my understanding is, that you have to actually take it as a college course now.
So get in right now while you can study online, and then just go in and write the test. And that's what you did. You had to do 5 in a row, which I was grandfathered in before you, and I did 3, and then I was active, and then I had to write them 3 more within a 2-year period while I'm busy being a realtor. But you had to take all 5 tests with a busy life, being a mother, everything. And a lot of people do message me being like, oh, I'm busy, or they lock themselves into a library and they're trying to study. But let me know, how did that go for you?
You know what, like, it's not that hard. Don't overthink it. Literally, just the main thing is the test. You don't have to hand in work, so just study. I use Pass It. I know you're a big fan of Pass It. That's what helps the most.
So many people don't know about it. Like, doesn't it tell you right at checkout, like, to buy it?
Yeah, it does.
And so many people DM me being like, what's this tip you told me about? I'm like, I wish I got an affiliation fee for it.
Yeah, you should.
Pass It. Like, it's like $25, and it totally...
It's worth it.
In other videos I have for you guys, it's like how to like reverse engineer the test. Is like, just do Pass It and then go write the test. Don't sit there and read the book. Too many of these realtors, they just sit in the library reading the did you ever read a textbook in high school? And
you never would read the entire.
It from like front to end. Like, you pick and choose kind of paragraphs, right?
I would fall asleep a lot reading it because it's so boring. So like, especially certain textbooks are more boring than others. So like, I try, but I skim through the book, do the Pass It like over and over again till I'm getting almost 100% on the Pass It. And then I know I'm going to get a good mark on the test.
So many people like they want to get real. They think that's real estate, like studying this stuff and getting 100%. That's not real estate. Have you used 90% of that test out in the field?
Well, I've forgotten 90% of it, and I had a 1-year-old too. So I I have 2 kids. My son was 1. I'm not really retaining a lot of the information I learned. So yeah, I just did it to pass the test, and then I learned a lot just from experience.
That's what I try to tell you first realtors, like, get out there in the field, and like very early on, once you were qualified, like you and I kind of you were getting going, and then you and I kind of went out and met some sellers here and there, and we're kind of going over some stuff, and we've been on a few listings together, and that's the way I tell you guys to learn, is like, get out there in the field. So.
Oh, for sure. Like, that's where I learned everything, and that's the stuff that I really remembered. Like, doing, looking at offers in a textbook isn't the same as writing an offer.
I didn't understand it really. Like, the test was all about like a little segments of an offer. It didn't really like. You would assume there would be like some exercise where it's like, come into this classroom and write an offer, and the teacher's gonna grade it. No, that doesn't even happen. You get like one little question about a part of an offer, which isn't applicable when you're doing a full offer. And so then how did you kind of deal with that?
Well, my worst was the paperwork portion of the test. In the textbook, I didn't understand it as well. That would be like my weakest thing. And now I'm like, I don't know if you've seen how quick I do paperwork. Pretty much a master.
Always like, I like listings, and
I love doing paperwork, and I'm quick at it. I can do it. It's just simple for me. But for some reason, the test had me feeling like I'm never going to know how to do this. Right?
It's very poorly taught, if you ask me, and it's not till you actually get out there and you start doing it, and then doing it with some volume of like 3, 4, 5, 6 times a month.
I think you gave me 6 offers or listings to write. My first time I did it, you kind of showed me quick, and they're like, okay, here's 6 more addresses. I was like, okay. So I went home, and like in 2 hours I sent them to you, and you're like, oh, You
Yeah,
did them.
no, it was
They
really
weren't
good.
complete because I didn't kind of know how to do everything at that point,
Right.
but that taught me, and from doing 6 in a row, I just knew how to do them.
Yeah, and when you're listing, guys, unless you have like a listing department at your brokerage that does it, like if you're individually doing it like we do, it's a lot of like fill in the blanks, and you gotta, like, well, I'm not sure. Is it a flat area that the house is on, or is it on a hill? You're like, you gotta always like kind of like think about it.
Well, you learn when you go into the house to be like scanning for these things, right?
So when you're brand new, you don't know to look for that, and now you're kind of like going over stuff like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need to know what the basement is.
Yeah.
Is it poured concrete or brick? So,
And how annoying is it to be texting the seller 1,000 times for those questions?
and it's something like I'd say in my real estate agent course, which we'll have a link in the description, is like, yeah, don't bother your sellers with stupid questions. If you can find out the answer somewhere, one of the tips for new agents is like, figure it out yourself. Don't bother your seller. The seller's busy. You're supposed to be the professional. Figure it out, or exhaust all other approaches before you bug your seller about like, what's the furnace again? And like, they're like, I told you when we were walking through. You're like, oh right, like that's bad.
And most sellers will ask you such basic information that's just a quick Google search. And you know, it's kind of annoying because you're like, really, you can't just look that up yourself, but whatever, you're providing
Well, especially in
value
your
to
first
them.
year, like, this is how you're gonna set yourself apart, like answering these little stupid questions.
What's the school district? What's the busing district? Anyone can find that out.
Like, yeah, but this is sadly, like, if we can get them the information super quick, that's valuable to your seller, and it's super easy, and we shouldn't even be paid for that, but we are.
Exactly.
Because they ask you, like, Google, like, yeah.
And then you know, right? If you find it out, then the next time someone asks, you know, you have the site saved, you can look it up in 2 seconds.
Well, and that's important too. When you're new, you start learning more and more about areas, and you build like a little mental database. Like, did you know what all the prices were across London, Ontario? Now you probably have a little bit more idea because you're like, oh yeah, I remember that one sold and this one sold. When you're not an agent, you might know your neighborhood, but you don't know 4 or 5 different neighborhoods down the way. Now as an agent, you kind of figure it out. And if a client starts texting you being like, hey, I'm thinking of selling my house, and they tell you the address, you should probably be pretty close, like $50,000 to $100,000 at least.
Oh yeah.
Like where you think that house should be worth without even going to it. And definitely hard in your first year, but the more and more volume you do.
And like seeing the selling price, the listing price in London and the selling price is quite often $60,000 apart. So knowing that, like certain neighborhoods, like in the East, the houses are cheaper, but they're going to sell a lot higher over asking because there's more competition. So you can kind of gauge that as well as you do more and more.
When you're new, how do you learn this? Like, it's just through like doing, I guess. Right?
And for me, my advice for my first year, what gave me the most value was not so much, everyone says, go network, go talk to all the people you know, or meet new people. My best networking came from talking to people in my office, like you and Dan and everybody else that actually do a lot of volume, because you guys eventually aren't going to be able to do it all, and you're going to say, hey, Alexandra's capable, she's available.
That was kind of networking though.
Yeah, so you're networking within your office, and then, you know, you're helping out people and you're getting the experience from that. That's going to get you a lot further than just sitting by yourself going on the matrix.
So like if you're a brand new agent and you see, like, you saw me maybe being busy running around with my head cut off, and you can be like, is there anything I can do to help? Let me know. I'll do open houses, whatever.
And I'm hanging out.
Then you're top of mind for me now, being like, oh yeah, can you go do the showing and this and that?
And I tag along. I let people know that I'm a reliable person. They can trust me. I'm not going to screw something up. So just from being around all the time, they're like, hey, we can trust Alexandra. I know she's new. And that actually helped me the most in my first year, is just other people giving me extra work because it gave me experience and I made some money from it.
Yeah, and I would suggest, if you're looking for like a mentor in your office, somebody that's actually doing a lot of volume, and maybe not somebody who's so old school, because you're not going to be able to copy their old school methods. That's worked for them for 20 years. So don't just listen to, well, I always call it old Tony in the office.
Yeah, old Tony.
Because he's the typical old realtor that's like, just, he's killing it, but you'll never be able to emulate him because he's doing a lot of old strategies.
Referral business.
For a bit of a, he's got 20 years of referrals. You're in your first year, you don't. So if you want to eat food from getting commission checks, you got to think outside the box a bit. So obviously you linking up with me and our other broker Dan, we have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're young, we're running around with our phones up, like glued to our hips. we need help. So
and it's unpredictable. Eventually you're not going to be able to do everything, and you need to know that by not just like, and talk to everyone in your office, not just one person. You need to be like making time to meet everybody and just being available.
Exactly.
So,
but you did have a bit of a good network, like with your husband, and he knew a lot of people that are buying a bit higher end homes.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good.
And like we bought ourselves quite a few this year. We always try, like, this is the hard part about being an agent. If you invest in real estate and you're finding good deals, it's kind of hard to stop.
Yeah.
You know, if I see a good deal, I'm just like, take my money right away. So you just keep buying stuff.
Yeah.
But,
well, that's,
you know,
that's really cool. Not everybody will be in that position, but that's just something you can always talk about to future clients. Like, oh yeah, like, should we invest in this area? Well, I buy in this area. And then that's comfort, because if you guys have seen my other video about peace of mind, what we sell is not necessarily real estate, but like the trust of like, hey, don't worry, I invest in this area. Here's my product. We can walk through it, and then they might purchase a home. And the same way people trust me with multifamily or other rental properties, they just see me do it, and then I'm become the subject matter expert. And you guys do a lot of flips as well too.
Well, we had been, now we're doing some new construction, but before we were flipping. So like I have that knowledge, and I'm always looking. Like, I'm not just looking for my clients, I'm looking for myself too. So if I find a good deal, it's like either you're buying it or I'm buying it, because this is a great deal. So you know, I can give advice. I've found some great deals, and I've also talked some people out of some not so great deals, which isn't in my benefit, but
so your first year, and everybody wants to get paid, but so, as an agent, you might have to talk clients out of a deal. Like,
for sure.
So like, why would you do that? Like,
well, I don't know. Like, they're first time home buyers. I just see too many red flags, no opportunity for inspection because it's multiple bids. It's just not the one. So,
and like, it's so important, guys. You do not want to make that sale right there. You want to make the next 5 sales with them, because they trust you. There's no point of quickly getting that commission. You're not a used car salesman, and if you are, unsubscribe to my channel right now. But you want to really be providing these people value that they're going to go on to refer you out to 5 more people, or they're gonna, if they're an investor, they're going to invest 5 more times with you. If you quickly just say, yeah, sign here right now, and they buy the house, and then there was that inspection problem, who are they going to come after? The realtor, right?
And like, I don't like the headaches. I like to do a deal and then focus on future deals. Obviously, I'm still there for my clients, but I don't want for the next year to be, you know, dealing with a bad property or a bad deal that I sold. I don't have time for that.
Right. Well, I know what I do, but what do you do for like any client gifts or anything like that, or?
Well, I try to personalize them. Like, I have clients that bought from out of town and I never even met them. Kind of hard to personalize it when you're talking to them, you know, through videos and text messages. So in that case, I'll just send a gift card. But if I'm out with them and we're kind of like chatting about things they're hoping for, like a barbecue or something like that, then I do something related. What
I like to do, so like that barbecue is pretty cool, but what I would do is really turn it personable. If you really hate your clients, it sucks. But I mean, if you like them, like bringing that barbecue to the summer, to have a barbecue and actually share some food and a drink with them, that'll go so much further than potentially a gift card or something like that.
I'm always just like try to like drop it off and take off. I guess I don't try to like hang around.
What I would say is like, yes, so you're getting into your second year now. You want to hang around a little bit, because these are the people that are going to refer you 4 more times. I rarely give any gifts at all.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I gave 1 gift this year. You know what I did though? I always give experiences. Like they can come out for dinner, or they're coming to an event, or tickets to something. Cool. But then they go with me to the event. So I get to enjoy it as well, and it builds a bit more of that bond. And then without even talking real estate, they refer me a bit. Rather than just like, here's a Home Depot gift card so you can buy something. It's okay, thanks. And like, and then my other good gift is I work really hard for them to either sell their house for like 20 grand more, or whatever that looks like, or I get them a really good deal as a buyer. And I always joke, like, do you want a bottle of wine, or do you want to save 20K on a purchase price? So like, there's my gift. Like, if you're just picking your realtor because they have like, oh, sign up with me and I have a $500 Visa gift card for all the new people.
Yeah.
That's pathetic.
You're buying them.
It's a marketing strategy. Yeah, but like that's not a good realtor for you. Like, okay, sweet, my agent lost me $50K on my home, but he gave me a gift card.
True.
Oh,
Yeah.
Great agent, right? So like, don't be that agent.
Yeah.
So.
Graham, actually, when I went to LA, I met with Graham, and something he told me he does if he has like out of town clients and he's showing all day, he'll purposely put a break in between and take them out for coffee or lunch, and then it's like they're already with him, everyone's got to eat, and then he sits down and really gets to know them.
That's really cool.
So it's kind of like a way to just sit down and spend time with them,
showings
right?
tomorrow, and I'm going to show this restaurant with 8 units above it. So it's a restaurant and like 8 apartments. But maybe I should be, hey, we're at the restaurant. Let's grab a burger here.
Yeah, exactly. And, like try it out before you invest, and you know.
Because they got to eat.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really.
It was a good tip because.
You guys know Graham Stephan. You guys can obviously he's killer on YouTube right now. I think he's close to 300,000 subs.
That's a Graham Stephan tip for you.
That is. So, but like what he's doing there is providing that personability, which that's what would be my suggestion getting into your second year.
Yeah.
It sucks with your family and stuff like that because
sucks with that family.
Well, because like if you have to be out at Disney on Ice with a client, but your family can't come.
Yeah.
So try to build that in a bit if you can. That's the good part too. If I guess with your husband's connections as well, you probably kind of know the person, some of them. So, like even like your sister-in-law, like
and like with their cousins, we all have kids. Although I find like bringing your kids to work, it seems like a good idea. I don't know, my kids, they're not they're well behaved, but they're kids,
there's
right?
There's a lot of mothers that follow me on Instagram that are becoming realtors and they have 1, 2, 3, 5 kids, whatever.
Yeah, it's very difficult to manage, right?
Like, okay, it's bedtime or something, and then when does real estate happen? Probably in the evenings.
Well, I set an expectation. Like, my kids know that I'm not always available, and that's okay.
But that's a new thing, right? Because you're a newer agent.
So I make quality time, not quantity. I do spend a lot of time at work. I do spend evenings. I do spend weekends. When we hang out, I make sure that I give them all my attention. We do things that they really enjoy. We play games. We have dinner together. But like, I don't think that kids necessarily need you to do everything for them. I think there's like a big thing happening with parenting where we're doing too much for our kids. It's okay if they have to put on their own pajamas and brush their own teeth without you there hovering, and if they don't get a story every night, that's okay. Just make it up to them in other times, and that's hard to manage, right?
Well, and then like our phone can ring all the time. So like you might be playing and then the phone rings and the phone call could be $10,000, but you're having that quality time. It's like a bit of
I know, sometimes I do, and like, there's sometimes when I've been working just a ton and I know like, okay, this phone call has to wait, and there's other times when I have to take it. So I just let them know. Sometimes before we even start that game, I say, hey, you know what? I've been really busy. I have a lot of people emailing me, a lot of people needing answers. If my phone rings, I'm going to answer it. So when it rings, it's not a big deal. They already know. So just set an expectation.
One of the best things, I think on the iPhone and potentially on other phones too, it's that can I call you later? Or, and I think you can set up a personable one, but like that one's, at least you're responding to your client like ASAP. You can't pick it up, but you're going to be like, can I call you later? Or call you right back. And then usually they're like, okay. That's at least telling your client like you're on it. Like you know that they tried to reach out to you, you're going to get back to them, rather than it hits the voicemail and they're just like, I can never get a hold of my realtor. Yeah,
and then you could get a couple more calls and then an email or something comes up and then time's passed. And same with friends, like you have to do, I think just setting the expectation. If you're going out for lunch and it's a busy day, you have to say, I'm probably going to have to answer my phone.
Friends can change a little bit too now that you're an agent. If your friends were 9 to 5 type people and they were used to you being potentially 9 to 5, I know you never necessarily were.
No, and I used to be a lot more available for my friends, and it's hard because
and
it's
now you're like, sorry, I got to go sell a house. And they're like,
and it's like
Friday night.
every weekend,
we don't have days off. We work all 7 days. And you guys, you might see like you're getting close to the 100K commission, but like you might, it's $100,000. We're working all 365 days.
Yeah, and it's unpredictable. And that's the thing. Sometimes I don't even have real estate plans on the weekend, but I know there's the potential that I likely will. So I don't make plans just in case. And often on those days when I say no to social plans, I end up getting tons of showing requests and doing something.
Well,
so.
and some of my suggestions in your first year, and I was telling you when you're brand new, was like, what are you doing? Like, if Saturday morning, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you got to be thinking about a way to create business every day. Like, it's feast or famine a little bit. So if that's an Instagram post, or if that's a blog post, or that's you going for a walk, and then taking a video of a house and be like, what do you think of this house? Like, whatever. Just keep top of mind with people. Then they're going to reach out to you, and you're going to be able to sell some homes. So have you've done more buyers this year than listings? Right?
Yeah, I would say. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. It'd be cool in your second year if you could focus on listings.
Of course. Who doesn't love listings, right?
You spend a little bit more energy and time listing it, but the beauty is about with listings is you're like not only branding that home, you're branding yourself for future listings as well. And that's the beauty of listings. And then you can sit at home and be the boss when offers come in and you're like, nope, counter, whatever.
Listings, I feel like you can kind of predict the timing too. Like, you know, when you put it up, you're having that open house, you're having those showings, but then it's like you book those couple of weeks, and in London, sometimes it's 4 days that it sells.
What was your first listing? Single family home?
It was a condo with you that sold in one day. I didn't really pick up too many buyers.
That's great for you too.
Yeah.
Okay, but did you list one on your own this year?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I listed a couple.
So how did you talk to that seller and like get that listing?
I knew all of I'm trying to think if I had any sellers that I didn't know.
Or even if you know them, like how did you like go over, okay guys, I want to list on Thursday and this is what we're going to do. We're going to do open houses Saturday and I want to like really
So I picked up some tips from all of this hanging out with all these realtors. I never tell them anything. I ask them what they want. And then from what they tell me, I turn that into what I need to do in the way, you know, I just kind of
You want to list for $3 million.
Yeah. So I start off kind of like, what are you expecting? What works for you? And then I kind of, as they give me answers, I educate, inform them on market stuff.
Is that the fake it till you make it kind of, what do you think it's worth?
Yeah, exactly. Because
I do hate giving what the price is on the first walk-in. Like we're sitting on the couch and everybody, what do you think it's worth? It's like, I got to go home and do my homework a little bit, which buys you some time. Because what do they want? Like they just want to hear the highest price right on the couch. Like that's not.
But if you come in like Mr. Salesy, I know this, I know that, then you should be able to tell them that. If you just come in like, hey guys, you know, what are you expecting? Tell me about this place. What do you like about it? What this and that, and then you kind of come to a conclusion together. So
and I like to be able to talk about the neighbors that have sold and stuff like that, like just off the top of my head. And the better you get, that could be like 5 minutes in the car before you go in, or an hour of studying before you got
Doesn't really take that long. There's so many recent sales. You can pull up a few and, okay, I have a good idea.
Being able to like spit that out, and then you just memorize it a bit more too. And then you're hanging out with the agents in our office a lot. You might know future listings that are popping up because like Nigel's like told you, like, and then you can tell a seller about that. Like, I know we're going to be listing one for X, so we're going to have to be competitive at Y. So.
Yeah, for sure. I get tons of information. I'm always asking, right? I'm always just like, hey, anything good coming up? Any off market? Any good deals? Because I want to know. I have people asking me, and I like to have an answer for those questions. Just using the resources you already have, you know.
Right. So coming up year two, you know, pretty successful year one with a lot of buyers, a lot of hustle I've seen out of you. Like,
I try.
You started like, it's similar to me, like, you know, you ask a lot of questions and then like, okay, now you're on your own kind of thing, right? Like,
I don't spend as much time, like I try to set, like, let's go for lunch or let's meet this day. I don't just hang out at the office all day because I don't have time anymore.
No, you're too busy selling homes.
And that's the thing, you network at first, you build strong relationships, but then eventually you're going to be on your own, doing your own thing.
Well, now they're just a text away versus like you don't have to necessarily be seeing them personally.
Yeah, like me and you, we don't see each other as often as we did, but anytime you text me, I'm like, sure, that's awesome, let's do it.
So now that we live closer, we definitely should be.
Yeah, we see each other less, but we live.
You should come to the Win-Win Mansion here.
Yeah,
a bit more.
It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, we're just getting it all ready for you guys here. Yeah, if you guys if you guys like this video at all, make sure you guys subscribe to me right now on the channel, and get over on Instagram and follow Alexandra, and we'll put her link in the description as well. And yeah, you come up to your end of your first year. Hopefully, year 2 you can double your profits.
Yeah, I'm a lot more focused. Like starting, I didn't really have many clients. I had people that were somewhat interested, maybe moving, like future prospects, I guess you could call them.
Year 2 is actually gets a bit easier because year 1 you kind of start off and you're building these leads.
Yeah, you don't know how to do anything. You don't have anything in place. Even when you get something, you're like, now what do I do with it?
And then year 2, like maybe you have a future closing that's closing in year 2.
Yeah, I already have something closing in January,
right? And it pads your year 2 numbers pretty much.
Well, it's not. I guess my year 2 is until March.
We'll probably go on your year to date eventually. You know,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'm hoping more listings, more lead generation, and just working with the current leads I have, just keeping the momentum going.
Yeah, like those buyers might know people selling as well, so it's just like the more people you kind of
yeah, that's the thing.
Contacting.
You get to, like, there's certain ranges I find, demographics, that have a lot of people doing the same thing. So you kind of get into that late 20s demographic, you sell them a house.
It's kind of a perfect age, like they're either reselling their home or upgrading.
Yeah, exactly.
The 7 to 35 kind of age group.
Yeah. And then once they get their kids in school, it's a little bit more difficult, I find, to...
And they really want...
Yeah, same school district. It gets a little harder to find that perfect property, so...
One more thing, you've been able to get a bit higher end buyers just from like the good networking. I
think just because I am a little older, you know, I'm not getting into real estate in my early 20s where everybody's starter homes. A lot of the people that I know are on their 3rd, 4th house, so just kind of like building that equity and, you know, trading up, I guess, so that's been helpful. Also, just knowing what's up and coming with new construction helps. New construction's a little bit more expensive, and just providing that information to people just has helped me sell some more expensive houses. And I really like the commission from those houses.
Yes, I would like some of that too. I always get a few leads, but it's tough, and new construction might close in a year, right? So like they might have like they text you and they kind of they're just kind of like checking.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a long process. The commission checks look great, but it can be definitely a long process for them to actually close.
And I like to reinvest my money that I make into myself and my marketing, my fees. I always set aside tons of savings.
Smart.
So those big commission checks are really helpful when you're just starting and you're just like getting these small, not regular paychecks. It's really hard to like, okay, where do I find the money to spend on advertising, branding, and just reinvest when you're just not getting paid enough. So that just helps you get that lump sum, and that can just help you kind of coast and do the advertising you need to get yourself to that next level.
Cool. Well, we got to go sell some real estate.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, tomorrow I have a $1.5 million showing.
Okay, good luck.
With like multifamily stuff, but yeah, hopefully I can sell more of these types of homes.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Keep up with you.
Oh, wow.
Gonna crush me in your second year.
I hope so.
Yeah,
you know,
it'd be cool, and we'll get you back on the channel a lot.
Yeah.
And let me know. Maybe we'll do a mansion tour of your house.
Sure, that'd be great.
Mansion.
Okay.
But yeah, and her house is always spotless, so we'll get the.
I try.
The Hungarian experiment, Peter, to come in and do a vlog with us.
Okay, well, it's ready anytime. It's clean. And
yeah, and hit me up, guys, on Instagram if you're a new agent and you want to get on the channel and just chat with me about your first year and like what you kind of like learned. Whatever brokerage you're with, doesn't matter. I just kind of want to like learn and help anybody out. And hopefully this video's been helpful. If it has, hit that like button for me. It's going to really help out the YouTube algorithm. And if you want, rewatch this from the beginning. That'll also help as well. But I really appreciate it, guys. And thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we will catch you guys on my next video. Bye.